Many people are driven by the desire to become rich. However, lots of people still struggle to find real success and wealth. In today's video, we explore proven strategies rich people use to become wealthy, while others struggle with money problems. We are going to talk about practical methods and behaviors universally embraced by successful individuals to attain wealth. Before we dive in, hit that like button if you're enjoying the content so far. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more awesome content like this. Let's get started. One fundamental practice that makes rich people different from most others is maintaining a comprehensive money tracking system. If I wanted to know how much you spent last month, would you be able to give me all the details? Can you tell me how you split up your income? Like what percentage goes to bills, savings, leisure activities, and investing? It's hard to improve your finances if you don't know where your money goes. Cultivating the ability to meticulously monitor every dollar under your control not only facilitates effective management of current finances, but also equips you with the proficiency to make smarter choices with more money in the future. The first step to tracking your money is to sort all your spending into three main groups. 1. Income. This includes all the money you make in a month from your job, side hustles, or anything else. 2. Living expenses. This number is super important. It's all the money you spend every month on things you absolutely need to survive, like rent or a mortgage payment, electricity and water bills, and groceries. Even though these costs usually stay about the same each month, a lot of people don't realize how much they actually spend on this stuff. 3. Other expenses. This is for fun stuff you can choose to buy, like subscriptions, daily coffees, or anything extra you don't need to survive. Putting your spending into groups makes it easier to track your money. This way, you'll see exactly how much you earn, what you need for bills and groceries, and what's left over for fun stuff. Armed with this understanding, you can make more informed financial decisions. Saving money can be tough, but there are some tricks that can make it easier. One effective approach is automating your savings. Many banking institutions offer the option to schedule transfers from your primary account, where your income is deposited, to your savings account immediately upon receiving your paycheck. By doing so, a portion of your earnings is saved before any expenses are deducted, requiring minimal effort on your part. This automated system helps prevent overspending, as funds are allocated for savings without conscious intervention. Another way to help you avoid spending your savings is to keep them in a separate bank account that doesn't have a debit card or link to your checking account. This way, your savings won't be as tempting to use for everyday purchases. By keeping your savings in a separate account without a debit card, it's a little more work to get to that money. This can help you save more because you won't be tempted to spend it as easily. Indeed, there are two main ways to save more money. Cut back on spending to free up extra cash, or find ways to make more money so you have more to save. However, accumulating savings marks only the initial phase of wealth building. Having a lot of money in the bank doesn't always mean you're wealthy. There exists a distinction between liquid cash and equity. Let's say you have $1 million. Would you rather keep it all in cash or invest it in things like real estate or successful businesses? The affluent typically favor the latter option. Cash retains its nominal value over time. Therefore, if you stash away $1 million in cash, its worth remains constant over the years, discounting the erosive impact of inflation, which steadily diminishes the purchasing power of currency. Conversely, investing $1 million in real estate or reputable companies can potentially yield exponential growth in value over the same period. Warren Buffett likes to say the best way to use your money is to invest it in things that will grow over time. He believes in putting your money back into investments instead of just keeping it in cash. That's why rich people often invest their savings in things that make them more money. This way, their money keeps growing over time. As we've emphasized earlier, saving represents merely the initial phase in wealth accumulation. Rich people don't just save money to have a pile of cash. They use their savings to invest and grow their wealth over time. After you've built a good savings habit, you can start thinking about how to invest that money to make it grow even faster. Consider the dynamics of the Monopoly board game. Success hinges not on hoarding cash, but on acquiring properties that generate continuous revenue streams. It's not enough to amass cash. The objective is to convert it into assets that produce wealth. In the long run, people who invest in things like real estate often end up with the most money. Let's say you have the option to hold on to cash or buy something that will make you money. Which would you pick? Rich people like to invest their money in things that make them money on their own, like rental properties or stocks that pay dividends. This way, their money works for them, instead of them having to work for their money. This shows what's really important to them when it comes to building wealth, using their money to buy or create things that make them more money. It's also interesting that many rich people don't spend all the money they make. They live below their financial means. You might think rich people would spend all their money, but a lot of them actually live below their means. This is especially true when they're first starting to build their wealth. If you look at people who got really rich in the last decade or more, you'll see a pattern. They all tend to live frugally, even when they make a lot of money. Even though they were making a lot of money, they didn't spend it all on expensive things like fancy cars or big mansions. Despite earning 6 or even 7-figure incomes, some people can't resist spending a lot of money on expensive things and end up broke. But people who want to get super rich aren't just thinking about spending a lot of money. Their focus extends beyond accumulating a few million. They aim for vast fortunes. Consequently, many of them, even amidst comfortable incomes, maintain modest spending habits similar to the average person. Now that we're talking about keeping track of your money, saving and leveraging it to buy things that make more money, there's one important thing rich people do to keep their wealth forever. This trick lets them spend money on fancy things without worrying about running out of money. The big difference is how they use their money. Instead of spending all their savings, the initial capital, they only spend the extra money they make, the residual income. Initially, most people rely on active income, earnings derived from their time and effort. However, upon venturing into investments in income-generating assets, they begin to generate passive income, which constitutes the cash flow generated by these assets. The key to getting really rich is to only spend the passive income generated by your assets. This way, you can preserve your hard-earned capital. This is like planting a tree. Some people might just eat the seeds right away, but rich people plant the seeds first. Then, they only eat the fruit the tree grows, not the seeds themselves. This way, the tree keeps making them more fruit forever. Even though some rich people still run businesses and make money that way, they only use that money to invest in more things. They only spend the money their investments make on themselves, like on vacations or nice things. By following this rule, they always have extra money coming in, so they can still buy fancy things without worrying about running out of money in the long run. Now, what practical step can you take to kickstart your journey towards wealth? As mentioned earlier, to venture into investing, you must first save. And to save effectively, you'll need to either trim your expenses or bolster your income. Once you've managed to reduce your expenses, the optimal initial move is to concentrate on boosting your monthly earnings. The greater your income, the more resources you'll have to sow the seeds of your financial growth. That concludes today's video. I hope it was informative and beneficial to you. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I welcome your feedback, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Lastly, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any future videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.